Hello everyone, this is the screencast for creating for the homework part B, which we are going to be using for configuring servers automatically using Ansible scripts. I will first begin with creating a server on Amazon AWS. We have all the details ready for the server and we will be creating a new instance. While that is happening, we'll go through the playbook that we have written for Ansible. This is the Ansible playbook that we are going to be using in order to configure our server to have Jenkins on it and to be able to build a repository. In this playbook, we are going to install several dependencies. Like we can see, we are going to install Java, install JDK. These are the steps that we use to install Jenkins. After adding the entry for the Jenkins Debian in the apt source lists, we then update the cache and again install the Jenkins package. As we require Jenkins to have administrator rights, so as to run the jobs, we add Jenkins to the sudoers list. Similarly, we go ahead and install various other packages that we need, like Git and Maven, in order to clone the repository and build the repository. There are several configurations that we need to do in order for our Jenkins server to be up and ready after the script has been executed. We require that the config.xml that we have for Jenkins should have security disabled in it, and in that way, we have a config.xml that we are going to overwrite. This is the new config.xml with the security tags removed, so that we can directly access the Jenkins server without the need for the administrator to go in. Similarly, we have a Jenkins default file that is present in the etc default folder. We set the Java arguments to install to run the setup wizard as false, so that we can directly access the Jenkins UI without having to log in. Similarly, we have created this XML file, which is a template for the Jenkins job that we want to create. The commands in it are simple. It goes to the directory where JSP demo has been cloned, and then just compiles the code using Maven. So now we are going to run the Ansible playbook, but before that, we have created a server over here. So we need the IP address of that server. So we are going to copy this IP address into the inventory file. This is the IP address of the node that we just created. We are going to, this inventory file contains the host IP address, its user is going to be Ubuntu, and the private key file that it's going to use to connect with AWS. We come back to our playbook. Now we are going to run our playbook in order to configure our server. I'm going to run the playbook. It takes a certain amount of time for all the dependencies that are required to get installed. While this is happening, we can see that our server has been configured and it is up and running. Yes, we have the server running. As you can see in the playbook, we are using the Jenkins CLI for creating jobs through the script. So when we get the Jenkins CLI jar, and then we create a new job using the template that we already have using this command. Going back to where the node was being run. So we have just completed the steps for installing Jenkins, and now we are going to install Git and Maven. Now we clone the JSP demo repository, which we require to build using our job. Once we have copied the new config files, we restart the Jenkins server so that we can so that it is started in a unsecured way, which we can directly access it in the web browser. Now we have seen that our playbook has been successfully completed its running. Now we'll go and check whether we can see the job at our instance. So this is the IP address. So as we can see, it did not ask us for a password, and we could directly enter the Jenkins dashboard. Now this is the build that this is the job that we created for building the repository using the CLI jar. Now we go to this project and we say build now, and as we can see, the building is going on. And now that the build has been successful, we can see the console output, which shows that the build has been successful. This is the process where it's downloading all the dependencies, and as we see, the build is successful. So this is the way in which we can use Ansible scripts to configure servers. Thank you.